Welcome to the Common Bridge, where policy and current events are discussed in a fiercely nonpartisan manner. The host, Richard Helppie, is a philanthropist, entrepreneur, and political analyst who has over 1 million listeners around the world. The Common Bridge is available on Substack.com and draws guests and audiences across the political spectrum.
Hello, welcome to the Common Bridge. I'm your host, Rich Helppie, and today we're going to go into journalism again. We've got a renowned guest with us. Kevin Allen is a renowned sports journalist who has been inducted into the NHL Hall of Fame. For more than 50 years, he has covered the National Hockey League, including over 30 years as the USA Today's hockey writer. Let me stop there, Kevin. 50 years, you must have wrote the first one when you were in high school still?
I was writing. I was 17 when I got paid for the first time, so it's not quite 50. But
Okay,
we're
I'm
getting
gonna
there.
redo the lead in then because I got to do a couple other things then. Sorry about that, Brian, but I know you just chopped that front piece off.
Right.
All right, 5-4. Hello, welcome to the Common Bridge. I'm your host, Rich Helppie, where we will be discussing issues of the day, opportunities of the moment in a fiercely nonpartisan, policy-oriented way. And today we're going to be back on journalism and the state of journalism today with a renowned writer. And we welcome to the Common Bridge today, Mr. Kevin Allen. Kevin, it's good to see you.
My pleasure.
Kevin is a renowned sports journalist and who has been inducted into the National Hockey League's Hall of Fame because for almost 50 years, he's covered the National Hockey League, including 30 years as the USA Today's hockey writers. He's authored more than 20 books, covered over 600 games, including 25 Stanley Cup finals and 7 Olympics, as well as the NCAA Final Four, the World Series, the Super Bowl, the NBA Finals. But beyond sports, he's interviewed Jimmy Carter, Al Gore, Michael J. Fox, John Hamm, Tim Robbins, and a host of other luminaries of our time. While sports reporting has been Mr. Allen's forte and a great way to earn a living, he's first and foremost a journalist and an author. It's been my pleasure to call him a friend for many years. He has a view on contemporary America and our reporting industry. So again, we welcome to the Common Bridge my friend and accomplished writer, Mr. Kevin Allen. So Kevin, our audience likes to know a little bit about the background of the people that are on the show. And, I could probably tell a few things because we've known each other for so long, played on some of the same ball fields as kids. So I witnessed, some of our expertise and some of our not so good days throwing baseballs around and such. And thanks to social media and mutual friends, we're able to connect after years of raising our families and chasing careers. So tell the audience of the Common Bridge a little bit about some of your early days, maybe a little bit about your academic preparation and kind of a little arc on maybe a minute or so on what you've done in the professional world.
Well, Rich, I think it was one of the few people that had the advantage of knowing what I wanted to do quite early in my life. I decided when I couldn't hit the curveball in Little League that if I wanted to have a career that was involved in sports, that I better figure out a different way to do it. And I liked writing, and I thought maybe I had spent all my time reading newspapers. I delivered newspapers, and before I went on my route, I would pull it out and read the sports section. Then I thought, this looks like a great way to make a living. So because of that, I could focus on that pretty early. And even in high school, when I went to Wayne Memorial High School, the teachers there, including Daryl Emerson was my teacher. He figured out that I really was sincere and dedicated. And, he kind of crafted a program to sort of help me get on my way. And, I was able to come out of high school and actually go to work for the Ypsilanti Press, which was a daily. I was 17 years old. And when I started to get paid, I covered high school sports. And of course, I was able to go to college at Eastern Michigan University. And there I got on the college paper, and I got, I always say that my days on the college paper probably prepared me more than any other college classes that I had, because it was hands-on experience. We covered the city, we covered politics, we covered everything, and from there I had an internship at a weekly chain in Michigan. I went out to Arizona and worked for a daily out there, and then came back, and then I ended up at the Port Huron Times Herald, which turned out to be my big break, because in 1984, the Tigers got off to a great start, 35-5, and
Oh yeah.
I was, of course, situated in Port Huron, which is an hour plus to Detroit. They needed someone. The Gannett chain did to cover those hot Tigers. I was elected. I covered probably 40 games that year. I went to spring training the next year, and the next thing I knew, I was at USA Today. I
So
went there thinking,
was one of the challenges keeping the smile off your face when they said, "Alan, get down to the corner of Michigan and Trumbull, and we're going to pay you to go there." And that
no,
had to be a challenge.
yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, I grew up, in Wayne, Michigan, and I would get on the bus for 35 cents one way to go to the Tiger game. So I grew up, loving the sport of baseball. And when I went to USA Today, I thought I would continue in that regard. But when I got there, there was a lot of baseball writers, and um, there was a gentleman who had left hockey to go to baseball, and they were going to conduct a national search for a hockey writer. And the guy, the late Rod Beaton, said to the sports editor, Kevin's from Michigan. He probably speaks hockey fluently. Well, I had actually covered the Red Wings training camps, Steve Yzerman's first training camp. So I did have some hockey experience. When the sports editor said, "Could you do this for us while we do the search?" I said, "Yeah, absolutely, I can do that." And they gave it to me on a temporary basis. And as you mentioned, more than 30 years later, I was still doing the job on a temporary basis.
You're highly respected, and you've earned your stripes. Well, you're writing for a new publication.
Yeah, I am. After Classic Story in America, there was a merger, and I had been there a long time. Therefore, I was at the top of the salary structure. So those are the people that usually get moved out. I anticipated that was going to happen. It did. I looked at possibly retiring, and I decided I wasn't really ready. So I ended up taking a job with Detroit Hockey Now, which is a new website. I'm officially the editor in chief of it, although basically I'm sort of a beat writer for the Red Wings, and then I also maintain the ties with the Hockey Buzz website, which still gives me my national platform. So I do national columns for that website as well. And then I freelance and do things. I've just finished a book with Detroit Tigers great Willie Horton. I did another one with Bernie Nichols, the former All-Star NHL player as well. So I've kept pretty busy.
You have, and your productivity is amazing. Well, Kevin, you know enough about what I've been up to over the last many decades, and you know that the Common Bridge was started based on a frustration with an unresponsive and highly polarized government. We have elected people competing against each other and not addressing issues. And all of this, in my humble opinion, is possible because that treasured fourth estate has abandoned its crucial role of holding those elected accountable. Instead, they're joining the fray of partisanship. And I'm an eternal optimist. I see the integrity of those battling back. There's a lot more people that are fiercely nonpartisan that are joining us on the Common Bridge, and most of them just afraid to speak up. But I also see some brave souls calling out the formerly noble reporting industry for abdicating their position of trust. And we've had on this show, we've had Joe Ferrolo, Moore Krim, Thomas Frank, Matt Taibbi, Stuart Taylor, and others. And they've all called out the same issue. And one of the parallels they draw is that, political reporting and general reporting has become more like sports reporting. And so today, that's what I was hoping we could get is a learned view from a person like yourself who's traveled around the world. You've witnessed some very powerful people in their unguarded moments, and you can bring those insights about where the heck are we with journalism and reporting. And so, as always, I'm anticipating some education, and maybe, I don't know, maybe we'll get to some policy ideas as well. But let me start by asking this, Kevin. When you're writing about sports, are you writing to inform and entertain the fans? And when you began your career, was that also what you were supposed to be doing? Inform and entertain. And if I'm correct about that, is that the norm for general reporting, especially political reporting, or is it something else? Are they different, or should they be different?
Well,
Thank you for listening or watching this segment of Richard Helppie's The Common Bridge. On Substack, you can access the full archive and bonus columns, podcasts, and interviews for only $5 a month. At substack.com, search for The Common Bridge and subscribe.